Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to this evening's broadcast. My name is Janelle Reynolds, and I am currently an admissions representative at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and I look forward to speaking with you all this evening. Firstly, I would like to apologize for lack of visual. We're having some technical difficulties, so unfortunately, we'll just have audio this evening, but I hope you all can hear me clearly. And secondly, I wanted to let you all know that I am currently filling in for Ms. Kathy Cleaver. Unfortunately, she was unable to join us this evening due to some unexpected circumstances. However, like I said, I really look forward to speaking with you all. Before I get started, I'll just give you a little bit of background about myself. As I said, I'm currently an admissions representative at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And I'm also a proud alumna of UNC Chapel Hill. This is my alma mater. And I was actually a first generation college student and the first in my family to earn a college degree. So I am really proud to now be working here at the university, and I work very closely with visitors on a daily basis, our prospective students and families, and helping them navigate the college process. So I look forward to sharing some tips and advice with you all this evening. So let us get started. The first thing I'd like to share with you all is that college can be a very daunting process to navigate. There are a lot of moving pieces, and there's a lot to consider: where you want to go, what you want to study, what are the criteria that you need to get in. Different schools have different criteria, and it can be a challenge to navigate. So hopefully some of the tips that I share with you this evening will be able to help you navigate that process a little bit better. And I will try to share some tips both for students who are going through the process, as well as for any parents or mentors or support figures for students who are beginning to go through that college search process. So firstly, I'll start with a few tips for some students. The first thing that I encourage you all to do is to ask for help and guidance. I know it can be difficult sometimes to ask for help, and I know when I think back to my college process and even my first years of college, it was very difficult for me to ask for help. Especially as a first generation student, I felt that everyone else kind of knew what they were doing, and I was the only one that didn't know. And quite frankly, I was embarrassed to ask for help. But I learned very quickly that asking for help is definitely not a sign of weakness. And I was surprised at the overwhelming support that I received when I did ask for help. And so that advice applies not only to students who are currently in college, but to students who are in high school. As you're going through the process, as you're thinking about your next steps and what you want to do, definitely ask for help. Reach out to those around you. People are more than willing to help you if you take a little bit of initiative and share your interests and share your concerns. Another thing that's pretty important to do is to be proactive. It's important to start thinking about the college process as early as possible. Think about what you might be interested in studying. What do you like to do? What are your favorite subjects in school? What do you get excited about doing? And think about finding a college or a university that's the right fit for you. You're going to want a university that is a size that you'd be comfortable with, whether that's a smaller school or whether that's a bigger school. And you're going to want to look into the kinds of resources that schools have available to their students. Many universities and colleges have summer preparatory programs or summer bridge programs that they offer to community members and to prospective students that I encourage you all to look into. I know here at UNC, we have several of those types of programs. There are programs such as Heals for Success, Project Uplift, Summer Bridge, amongst others. And I know we're definitely not the only school that has those types of programs. Those programs are designed to support students in the community and to help them think through the steps that they need to take to get to college, to really prepare them for what college is going to be like and give a little bit of a taste of what that collegiate experience is like. So being proactive is important, seeking out those opportunities, also speaking with people who have been in your footsteps before. So students who've gone on from your schools to different colleges and universities, talk to them about their experience and their process. It's also important to remember that your grades are important. So you'll want to focus on making sure that you are doing well in school, and that if you do find yourself struggling, once again, don't be afraid to ask for help and to reach out to your teachers, to your counselors, for support and for guidance along the way. And I also forgot to mention that as I'm speaking, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to submit them, and I will do my best to address them along the way. And if I don't address them along the way, then I'll definitely take some time at the end to go through and answer all of the questions that you all submit. So as I was saying, yes, definitely grades are important. Make sure that you once again ask for that support. And something that's really important in terms of the college process is finding someone who's a good mentor, who is going to be supportive throughout the process from start to finish. Mentors are really important because they can also serve as letter writers. Letters of recommendation are an important part of your college application. And so you'll want to develop relationships with some key mentors, whether they be your parents, whether they are some community members, teachers, whether they're employers, someone who you look up to, someone who you respect and who you trust as well, to give you guidance. Those mentorship relationships are so important. I know my mentors when I was in high school were integral to me getting into college and navigating the process. And then in college, I had several mentors with whom I still keep in contact today, who really supported me not only academically, but personally and emotionally through the college process, navigating my college years. So mentorship is a really important part of this college process. You want to make sure that you work really hard and take initiative. If college is your dream, no matter whether you are interested in going to a technical school, a community college, or a four-year university, make sure that you work hard and that you're relentless in pursuing your dreams. As I said before, people will be more than willing to help you. People will go out of their way to help you when they see that you're taking initiative. Some things that schools are looking for in the college process, they want to see that you do have good grades, that you are taking challenging courses. So challenge yourself wherever you are. I encourage students that I meet to bloom where you're planted. We understand that not everyone has the same amount of resources available to them, the same types of classes, the same type of support available to them as they're going through their high school experience. And so that's why I really love the phrase bloom where you're planted, because we really want to encourage students to take advantage of whatever is available to you wherever you are, and take that initiative to really maximize the opportunities that are available to you. And that's something that colleges and universities really take into consideration as they're evaluating applications each cycle. We also really look for strong essays as students are applying. And so we want students who are thoughtful writers, who are going to clearly articulate themselves, but also who are going to share their personal story. And so to begin preparing for that essay writing process, I really encourage students to begin reading early on. Read any and everything. Read the newspaper, read your textbooks, read the news online, listen to the news. Those are some things that are really helpful and will really help your critical thinking and analysis. And that will all help as you are beginning to go through that essay writing phase and preparing to write your applications for college. I found myself listening to NPR a lot. That's something that my father listens to, and he really passed that down to me as I was growing up. And my radio listening, my news reading, those were all things that helped me and gave me things to speak about. They informed my opinions, and that was very helpful as I was beginning to write my college applications, because I was able to have an understanding of the world around me, and really show that knowledge in my applications. Universities are also going to be looking at extracurricular activities in the college process. So while your grades are important, and it's very important that you work hard, that you have strong writing skills, it's also important to consider what you're doing outside of the classroom. And an extracurricular activity is anything that's done outside of the classroom, whether it is a sport, whether it is a club or an organization, whether it is one or multiple part-time jobs. Students have a variety of extracurricular activities and a variety of interests. And colleges and universities really like to see that students are well-rounded, that they are pursuing their interests outside of the classroom as well. And that they're going to be a good fit for the college campus and the college community. So extracurricular activities are important, and extracurricular activities are also an area in which students can find mentorship and support. And then once again, tie that back to those letters of recommendation. So many students, in addition to submitting letters of recommendation from teachers or counselors, will also submit letters of recommendation from supervisors at work, or from other community leaders or mentors that have been influential in their process. So those are definitely things that I encourage you all to consider and think about as you're going through the college application process. Some specific tips for each year of high school that I will share with you in terms of finding mentors. If you are a freshman in high school, this is a great time to start thinking about college, to start thinking about finding mentors and forming relationships with teachers. You may not know your guidance counselor as yet, but you can definitely learn their name and stop by and introduce yourself. Be friendly, smile, and they'll definitely remember that you came by and you took that initiative to start the process early. When you're in your sophomore year, begin talking with your teachers about their thoughts on different colleges, their experiences. College admissions may seem a little far off yet sophomore year, but starting to glean information from teachers, from counselors, will really help to set you up for success in the future. And once again, stop by your counselor's office if possible, every once in a while. Say hello, ask questions such as, I'm interested in this. What kind of clubs can I join? What kind of community organizations can I get involved with? What have students before me done before? I keep mentioning this, what have students and people before me done? Definitely consider relying on those who have gone before you for support and for help, because that will help you. They'll be able to share their experiences, their mistakes, what they may have done differently, what they've learned. Ask about summer opportunities, as I mentioned, at different colleges and universities. There are definitely some targeted programs that are diversity related, that are for underrepresented minorities, that are for first generation students like myself. Many, many schools have these type of programs, ourselves included at UNC Chapel Hill, as I mentioned before. So definitely begin to look into those around your sophomore year. Within junior year, you definitely are going to want to be solidifying those relationships with your teachers, with your counselors. Start thinking about letters of recommendation at this point in time, and begin asking teachers if they may be interested in writing letters for you, if they would be able to write a favorable letter for you. With letters of recommendation, what we're looking for is an extra perspective, on the student. So applications can sometimes seem very two-dimensional because it's all on paper or it's all electronic. And letters of recommendation and essays are two parts of the application that really bring a student's personality to life. The student's able to speak for themselves in the essay and really share their personality, their interests, their hopes, and their dreams with the admissions committee. And for schools such as UNC that don't offer interviews, the essays are a really important part of that process because it's the best way that we really get to interact one-on-one with the student. And then in terms of letters of recommendation, as I mentioned before, the letter of recommendation adds another layer of context. It helps us to understand how students perform in the classroom, how they interact with their peers, and then in turn, we're able to apply that and see how the student will be able to interact on a college campus in the college environment that we strive to foster. Junior year, you'll also want to start thinking about which colleges that you might be interested in applying to. If possible, definitely consider visiting schools. Visiting schools is a good opportunity to get a feel for the environment, to speak with students one-on-one at the school. If you do have the opportunity to visit different colleges, I encourage you all to stop students, whether you are a parent that's listening, whether you're a prospective student, whether you're a counselor that's going to be advising students. Encourage students who go on tours and visit universities to stop current students along the way and ask them about their experience. Ask them what their favorite thing is about their college experience, to really get a sense of what it's like to be a student at that particular school. And that really gives you a lot of context and a lot of insight. You can really find the right fit by going and visiting a school. However, if you're not able to go and visit a school, I encourage you all to check out their website, to look at the different types of programs and majors that they offer, whether you know exactly what it is you want to study or whether you're still unsure. Schools like UNC that are liberal arts schools will offer a variety of programs for students who are still undecided, and they'll offer mentorship and guidance to help students decide what it is that they want to study. I graduated from UNC with a degree in global studies, and I concentrated in global health in Latin America. But I actually came into UNC as a first year as a biology major. And so I changed my major along the way after speaking with academic advisors, after going through a process, taking different personality and academic interest inventories that the university offered to me, that really helped me to hone and develop my specific interest until I was able to find the find the major that I was interested in studying. Now I have a question here on the side, so I will pause and answer that question. The question says, are internships important if we need to work to earn money instead? So that's a great question. That's a question that we get from a lot of students who come through UNC as well. Internships are, I would say that they're important, but they're not the end all be all. We take everything into context here, especially at Carolina as we're evaluating applications. And we understand that not everyone has internship opportunities available to them, firstly. And we also understand that students come from a variety of different backgrounds. So students may need to work to earn money. And so going back to the extracurriculars that I mentioned, part-time jobs definitely count as extracurricular activities. If you spend all of your time outside of the classroom working to support yourself and or support your family, that shows leadership, that shows initiative. And those are things that we are looking for here as admissions representatives, as application readers. Those are things that we're looking to see. Our initiative and leadership. And that can be shown in a variety of different ways. So it doesn't mean that you have to have an internship or you have to have done research or you've have been involved in certain clubs or activities at school. We also consider part-time jobs and other like opportunities as we're evaluating applications. But great question. Thank you so much for asking. So a couple of takeaway points: start building relationships early, be relentless with pursuing your goals, and definitely seek out mentorship. As I said before, people will see and value that you are looking for help, that you are asking questions. There is no such thing as a dumb question. People will value that you are willing to put yourself out there and to ask questions, and that you're seeking to pursue your dream as you are going through this college application process. And for parents and for mentors, for counselors who are out there, be patient with your students and support them through the process. Encourage them to read, as I said, encourage them to begin looking into the colleges of their choice early on. Encourage your students to engage with their teachers in the classroom, and to ask questions, to really develop those relationships on a daily basis, and to be involved in the community. We here at UNC especially really value community engagement. And so whether that is through the job that you're working at, whether you volunteer, get involved with your community. Find mentorship through your activities in the community, and that's something that will definitely help you along in the process. I know many of you may also have questions about financial aid. That's another huge part of the college application process. Next month's Google Hangout will be with the head of financial aid at Duke University, and they'll be talking more specifically about financial aid. But I will give a few quick tips just before I wrap up. Two important pieces of the financial aid process on the federal level are the FAFSA, that's the Federal Application for Student Financial Aid, as well as the CSS profile. Those are two profiles and applications that you fill out online that will help to determine financial aid packages from a federal level. Here at UNC, we are very committed to making sure that our education is accessible and affordable, and we are really committed to meeting all of our students' demonstrated need. And all you need to do in order to have your need met is to fill out those two profiles. In addition to those profiles, there are plenty of scholarships that are available for students. The Tomorrow Fund does a wonderful job of offering such types of scholarships, but there are also other scholarships available that guidance counselors can point you to, as well as those who've gone on before you as well. But I'll leave more of the financial aid talk to next month's Google Hangout, where you will have a financial aid expert with you. But with that, I would like to wrap up my talk. If there are any more questions, please feel free to submit them, and I will answer them in the next few minutes. But if not, I thank you all so much for your time and for your attention, and I apologize once again for the lack of video. But I hope that you all were able to hear me clearly, and I hope that some of the information that I provided was helpful as you all are thinking about navigating the college admissions process. I will leave my contact information with you all. If you have any further questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out. My name is Janelle Reynolds, as I mentioned before, and my email address is jhen@admissions.unc.edu. And you spell my name Jhennielle, last name Reynolds, Reynolds. Please feel free to reach out with any question at all, big or small, and I'd be more than willing to help you all. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and have a wonderful evening. Up next will be one of my colleagues, Montez Thomas. We'll talk a little bit more about the first generation college experience. Thank you so much once again, and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.